Hello viewers out there, welcome once again to this YouTube channel, Passionate Media TV. And of course, you know, my name remains Samuel Adeyemi, a screenwriter, and this is Screenwriting Movie Surgeon, where we get to dissect movies and bring out what appears not to be the best option, and then, you know, replace it by me, of course, the screenwriter, telling you what ought to be there. And like I usually say, here we do it as facts over sentiment. If you have reservations for this kind of clip or this kind of critiquing, please swipe left and let those who are interested stay glued to their screen while they learn from this video itself. So, like I usually say, can you just guess the title of the movie that we want to critique today? All right, now that you know the title of the movie that I want to critique today, so straight to the point, at this particular timestamp,
you know go there.
Well, let's get there first.
Okay, can you see that where he said, well, let's get there first? It's actually showing indecision, of course, which is fine, or is here to respond. It should have been better if the question that the fairman just asked him, that said, will you be there? What would have expected to see is he should just say, well, to really review that indecisive decision and then giving us a cliffhanger. So instead of saying, well, let's see, it's going to say, will you be there? What we should expect to see is, well, and then we cut to the next scene, giving that specificity of a cliffhanger, and then the audience are going to anticipate to seeing if the young man would be there or he won't be there. Remember, film, you shouldn't reveal everything immediately. It's either you start late and leave early, or of course you leave early and then you start late. All right, so at this particular timestamp,
Welcome. Oh, yeah, come in. Come inside. Come inside. Yeah, welcome. Hello now. Hello now.
instead of him to say, welcome, come inside, we can already see that the characters are already coming inside. So what would have just expected him to say is, welcome, you will really love it here, you know, and then he continues with his kind of comical, or giving them a sense of belonging to enjoy or have a confidence in staying in that particular place. For him to say, come in, we can see them coming in already. So I repeat that what we would have expected to see or to hear is for him to say, welcome, you will love it here, you know, and show all those his gestures as the film continues itself. Maybe you should check it again and then you understand what I'm trying to say.
Welcome. Oh, yeah, come in. Come inside. Come inside. Yeah, welcome.
I believe you can see what I'm talking about now. Remember, filmmaking and screenwriting is about showing, don't tell. So don't tell us that, don't tell the character to come in again when they are already coming in. Assuming they were standing at the door and then they refuse to come in, that's when you can now say, okay, come in. All right, can you see again at that particular timestamp?
And you guys survived that?
See, lantern and matches.
He's saying see, lantern and matches is, I mean, an aberration already. We can already see that this is a lantern, and we can see that this is a matchbox or matches. The next thing supposed to just say see, and then the camera, of course, by the instruction of the director, shows a cutting while editing. Then is going to be reviewed. Shows a cutting of the lantern and the matchbox instead of saying see, lantern and the matches or the matchbox. We can already see that this is a lantern and this is a matches. At this particular timestamp, talking about key, what we would have just expected to also say is, who should I give this to? We already know that it's a key that is holding. I mean, we can see it. So you can just say, who should I give this to?
Who will I give the key to? So
and then he stretches it to the person, or the ones that want to receive it will stretch his hand and also receive it. Remember, like I said, filmmaking, screenwriting is about showing, not telling. We can see that this is already a key. Remember, like I said, if this is sounding like, oh, this is nitpicking and all that, just swipe left. This content or this critiquing is not for you. It's for those who are really ready to hop up their game and, you know, bring out the best in their creative writing, and also for directors who are ready to interpret perfectly a professional screenplay. So at this particular timestamp as well,
personally vetted this.
Yes, sir.
And you're sure it's in good condition?
Right, sir.
Right. So what about my flight ticket?
Has been mailed.
All right, thank you. So
I suppose that is the man's executive assistant or his personal assistant. And then after the conversation came up, and then the next thing I said is, hope my flight has been booked or something. What I would have expected to hear then, or what we should have seen, is flight tickets. And then the character, who is the boss, will respond, book, rather, flight ticket. The boss is asking that question, flight tickets. And then the executive assistant or his personal assistant will respond and say, book, sir. Saying this will make the lines to be shorter. It also help the characters as well to retain their lines as early as it is, and it will help to pass the message promptly, and it makes film watching, when you watch a film, it makes it to look interesting and appealing to the ear. Remember, the way we speak in real life, sometimes there's a little deviation when you are speaking in movies because it has to be prompt. I mean, you can also see in this particular scene where this error is also repeating itself again. The error of, instead of them to show and not tell, he said someone just lost his key. Same thing is repeating. We can see that this is a key. It should have just been better, it says, someone just lost this, because we can see that it is a key already. Show, don't tell is the rule in screenwriting.
Someone just lost his key.
And there's a car key there too.
At this particular timestamp,
If you don't mind, why don't you join me in prayers tonight? Bring this gift to God and see how God can help you with it.
I'm fed up of all these terrifying dreams. It would be nice to take charge of my life for once. Yes, I'll join you for the prayers.
you realize where he asked him if he'll be joining from prayers, and then the other character, who is Chubby, responded. What I would have expected, maybe the screenwriter did it, I do not know, or maybe the actor skipped that, or it's an error from the director, but I'm speaking from the screenwriting point of view. What I would have expected to see is the character gives a deep sigh, then he continues his lines. So instead of him just to respond immediately just the way we saw it, let's see it again.
If you don't mind, why don't you join me in prayers tonight? Bring this gift to God and see how God can help you with it.
I'm fed up of all these terrifying dreams. It would be nice to take charge of my life for once. Yes, I'll join you for the prayers.
Now you see what I'm talking about. There should have been a deep sigh to show that he's trying to, digest that question and then to make his decision. Anyway, I know a lot of things happens behind the scene when shooting movies and all that, but of course, I just have to bring this out in case for some other time, any other director, any screenwriter is writing, make the character, make it relatable, make it real, so that we are going to believe it that this is really happening and he's trying to sink in that question before he makes his next decision. All right, so at this particular timestamp,
He's gone. Stop, he's gone. Stop, he's gone.
You also realize the error that's committed in this scene. I mean, of course, maybe because of my own background in the medical sciences, what I would have expected that should be done is a proper and good research would have been done. What do I mean? Where the doctor, of course, the medical doctor who is a copper, is doing the CPR, the way he held his hand and was doing it is totally wrong. I mean, if a medical professional or a medical doctor should end up seeing and watching this particular scene, aside from all the old medical jargons that the character have said, which is normal, and it shows that they've made research in their screenwriting, what you'd have expected a medical doctor as well to see is he's supposed to doff his hat or doff his cap, of course his hat basically, supposed to doff his hat for the filmmakers or the character or whosoever directed the movie. But unfortunately, we can see that maybe research was not properly done. The way the CPR was done is actually wrong. And in case you should know that filmmaking is not just to be entertaining, it's not just to inspire, it should also be educative. So showing us how to do CPR could have been would have make that particular scene to be more top-notch. This is also a little deviation, just like I said, maybe because of my own background in the medical sciences as well. So this is also an information for everyone, of course, who are into filmmaking, that in case you want to write something as regards a place that you are not well knowledgeable about, make proper research so that any audience who is an authority in watching that particular scene are going to know that no, these people really did their good job. Well, imagine doing maybe a research or something related to forensic, and then there's a killer scene, a scene of a murder or something, and then somebody just goes to that scene. Maybe someone who says is doing an investigation, he saw a gun on the floor or he saw a bullet or something, and just use his bare hand to carry it. I mean, that's wrong. You're supposed to wear an hand glove so that in case they want to trace you using any forensic whatever, you know that you are not the victim or you are not the one that committed that crime. So research, of course, should also be done. I repeat that this is just a deviation from the screenwriting critiquing that I'm doing based on what I've explained earlier, which is my background. All right, at this particular timestamp as well,
What's this? My resignation letter. My mind is made up.
I mean, this scene, it's something that I've usually seen in some movies, and you know, it's just because of the passion I have, I just pick these errors so easily. And it's not to demean the work of the writer or the filmmaker or the director as well, but the reality is this scene would have been best to keep us in oblivion so that we're going to see from the lens of the MD or the CEO or whatever position he occupies, instead of letting us see from the lens of the worker. What do I mean? At that particular time, he dropped the letter, and then the boss asked him, "What is this?" The man responded by saying,
My resignation letter.
did you see just the response you just saw now? Responded by saying a resignation letter. What would have expected is he should just give a motion his head or furrow his eyes or something and say, furrow his forehead and say, like the boss should check it. Like imagine giving the letter, let me just use this. I'm giving this particular letter to the boss and say, take. And then the boss say, what's that? The next time he says, that means he should actually check what is in the letter. And once the boss checks it, the next thing that the boss who is seated now should have said is resignation letter. Then the character standing would respond by not even speaking out, because we said it should be less of dialogue, filmmaking. It should just, nod or affirm. And then the boss can now ask, but why? And then the character who is standing, who is the employee, would respond by saying, my mind is made up. This way, it will bring out curiosity that, oh, what's in the letter? Before the boss, opens it immediately. Immediately drops the letter, and then the boss tries to like, what's there? The guy says, and then he opens slowly. That's delaying the action, delaying the answer, delaying the solution for us to keep watching that particular scene before all those things would now play out. All right, so this will be the end of this particular screenwriting movie surgeon for this particular movie titled PRAEY. Of course, like I've said, this is a great and wonderful production. Just for some of you who have been following me on Facebook, you'd have seen that I wrote something a little about it. The screenwriter did a great job. The script and the screenplay would have stood out more better or become much more outstanding if these errors that have been picked were not there. And like I've said earlier on, and I keep saying again and again, those who are releasing these movies, those who are shooting these movies, are doing it to inspire, to transform lives. So this is not to demean them or demean their work, but to make sure that next production of theirs will come out great from the point of view of the director and also from the screenwriter. And that's why I usually say every director should understand professional script writing. Professional script writing would help the director to understand the elements in screenwriting and be able to bring it out perfectly well. Till I meet you next time, keep writing well. But before I go, like we always say, we have a team of writers who are professionals in various countries. In case you're interested in working with us and then you want to reach out to us to vet your script or to write a fresh story or to just help you to edit your script to a professional Hollywood standard screenplay, you can reach out to us directly by the number that's appearing on your screen right now or in the comment section. And of course, you can reach us via the email as well. Till I see you next time again, keep writing well and keep watching inspiring and transforming movies. Bye.